हाँ मैडम, हेलो।
हाँ सर। हाँ
हाँ
सर।
शुरू करें मैडम, गाइड सर नहीं।
हाँ ठीक। Now screen is visible, sir.
हाँ नो मैडम।
Can I orally start?
हाँ यस मैडम, यस यस।
So friends, we have considered this what is research, and then after we have discussed the factors which are very important in controlling the. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay. So let us start with this. We have considered the participant first of all. Sorry, this technical problem I was actually always careful to share before, and don't know what happened to this. There is a problem of Windows in my PC. Anyhow, we will finish with the satisfaction of participants. So we have considered research in a way that we have to decide the problem, and many factors are there. In a vigorous way, we will decide in what way, which methods we will use, and accordingly we will consider our problems. And the researcher needs to be very careful about this when they consider the research hypothesis or their research problem. So it should be systematic, and procedure adopted for the research should follow the logical sequence. Logical sequence is first of all what you have to do. Second, third, fourth means in a we can consider milestone or steps. You have to decide milestone one, second, third. In this way, you should go systematically in a logical sequence. So some procedure must follow others. It should be valid and variable. Your research conclusion based on findings should be correct, and it can be varied by you as well as others. So this is nothing but the outcome based research, and this research this research, there are many obstacles or steps where we have to be very peacefully, carefully, patience with patience we have to go further, and it is rigorous procedure to need to be repetition so many times. If the results are not expected, we have to confirm. Just first, in a first observation we can't conclude the consideration of our research findings. Then when we do this a careful, systematic, patience way investigation, then in some the field of knowledge, basic knowledge should be with us, and for that we need to do the literature survey. So we undertake to establish the facts of principle, and these facts of principle we have to consider with the help of discovery and rediscovery again and again. So to search what is the discovery, we have to go for the literature survey, and there are many steps which involves in the life part of this journey of research. So formulation of research problem is the first step. Second step is nothing but the creation of research design. Then second is third step is nothing but the construct instrumentation. If you are going to see this instrumentation for the data collection, then select the sample. Then according to your research problem, infrastructure, instrumental study, and whatever data you have collected, conclude that your problem is really need a solution, and it is visible in your hypothesis that you can do it. So writing the research proposal, collecting the data, processing the data, and finally writing the report. These are the few steps you have to consider for this journey of research. So when you consider this part, then at that time this process and collected data and your experimentation is very important. Friends, when we consider this, all these factors, you have designed your problem, you have formulated your research problem, then there are few tasks also. Which are that tasks? So tasks are nothing but literature review. First, vigorous literature survey is essential, and this literature survey before formulating or during the formulating the problem is very important, and you have to identify these variables. Then constructing the hypothesis in this research problem is also very important, that should be selective and in a perfect way should get selected. So when you consider this all this, then you have to start the journey of your research. So your journey of research starts from how to write the literature review. Okay, and this literature review, when you consider, you have to go using the many sources. One of the source is nothing but the themes you have to consider. You have to go in a selective way, very purposefully. You have decided your research problem, hypothesis, then very systematically you have done the study on that. You have considered the basic and previous discovery and studies research outcomes, and after that you are going to present your literature review, that what you have studied, what you have collected the data, and apart from that, on the basis of that, how you are considering this literature review is very important for confirmation of your research problem and hypothesis. So write the few themes under your research problem and accordingly judge these themes are applied in your problem, whether these are reported or not, the work is done or not. Some way you follow this literature survey in a particular, according to particular theme. For example, I can give a quote here. In Marathi or in Urdu, if you are considering one poet for your study, then you have to consider the angle of that poetry, in what way the survey is done and study is done, and which angle is not studied. So consider the angle or the part which is remains to be studied and which you want to enlighten in front of the research interested peoples or the students or the society or the academicians. So accordingly you consider this literature survey right under the themes, some way follow that themes and order your problems, whether it is feasible or not. Highlight your problems in the form of arguments, that why, how and when. Then include these words and provide the sufficient references which you have studied, and based on that confirm your hypothesis and problems and start your journey with this first part of the formulating the literature survey to formulate the research problem. Then second step is nothing but the formulating research problem. Sir, is it shared? Screen is shared or not? I'm sorry to say, but is it shared, ma'am? Is it visible? Am I audible?
No, ma'am.
I'm not audible?
Yes, ma'am. Audible, but screen is not shared.
Can I take a gap of 1 minute or a few seconds to share again with the permission of participants?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, mute here. मॅडम म्यूट करेल.
हॅलो.
हा मॅडम.
झाली का शेअर झाली आहे का तुमची
हा
screen?
नाही होत मॅडम.
काय प्रॉब्लेम काय म्हणजे मी इथे काय करू शकते का?
नाही 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 काय करा, फक्त तुमचं जो प्रेझेंटेशन आहे ते मेल करा. एक आता तुम्हाला व्हॉट्सअपवर मेल
केलं
जे
ना
आहे
मी मेल.
नाही ना, नाही आलं.
नाही आलं.
नाही किंवा मेल करा वाटल्यास.
मेल केलं सर मी नवीनच्या याच्यावर केलं. तुम्ही जो मेल आयडी दिला होता ना सेंट मध्ये आहे.
ओके ओके ठीक आहे चालेल.
फक्त आता माझा प्रॉब्लेम काय आहे ते मला आयडेंटिफाय होत नाही.
दुसरा एक ईमेल आयडी पाठवलाय त्यांनी, पहिला ते
हा.
चुकलंय म्हणून
ओके.
त्याच्यावर पाठवून दे.
बाउन्स येत आहे सर मी.
येस मॅम.
आलाय का सर मेल आलाय?
नाही मी तुम्हाला सीमा मॅडमच्या याच्यावरून मेल आयडी पाठवलेलं होतं, त्याच्यावर पाठवलं का तुम्ही आता?
हा त्याच्यावर
चेक
पाठवा.
कर चेक कर.
पहा सर परत अटॅच करते मी, दुसऱ्यांदा मेल पाठवत आहे. अटॅच झाली आहे सर ती फाईल.
सर देखिए नहीं है.
एक मिनिट पहा सर चेक करा आला असेल
हाँ
का?
यस 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 सर. देखो आया क्या? नहीं आया.
एक 5 मिनिट.
आला का सर?
नाही नाही.
मला बाउन्सचा मेसेज आलेला नाही.
देखिए सर नाही चालेल.
नाही आलं? काय करू शकतो?
परत एकदा हे करा वाटल्यास मॅडम, मेल करा.
हो, परत एकदा फॉरवर्ड करते सर मी त्याच मेल. सर NAEEM आहे ना?
NAEEM.H.S बरोबर.
@gmail.com.
gmail.com.
त्याच मेलवर पाठवलं. चेक इट सर.
बघा आले की बघा. नाही
आलाय सर पहा. मला आता यावेळेस बाउन्स मेसेज आला नाही, तुम्हाला
हा.
मेल गेल्याचा मेसेज आला.
फाईल एखाद्या वेळेस साईज मोठी असेल तर थोडा वेळ लागतो. नाही आलाय. हा ठीक आहे मॅडम, कंटिन्यू करा तुम्ही. आलाय मेल.
हा.
मी डाउनलोड करून प्रेझेंटेशन चालू करतो.
हा मॅडम तुम्ही कंटिन्यू करा.
हा सर.
हा ते डाउनलोड करून आम्ही स्टार्ट करतो इकडून.
मला होस्ट केलेला आहे की नाही सर?
2 मिनिटं फक्त मॅडम, फक्त 2 मिनिटं. नहीं नहीं, हाँ यस यस, अभी स्लाइड शो कर दो. हाँ मैडम, हेलो.
Which slide you need to show?
Okay.
Which one?
Yes, no, can you make me co-host? I will do it.
को-होस्ट कर सकते हैं?
हाँ?
को-होस्ट.
किसको? उनको host
हाँ
करना है।
हाँ, को-होस्ट.
Recording.
रिकॉर्डिंग ही होगी.
Okay,
Slide.
no problem. You share, sir.
You whenever you want to change the slide, just
Yes,
tell us that change it. We can change.
next, sir. In 4 slides. Formulation of research problem. Third, fourth slide.
फोर्थ स्लाइड.
Then 6, up to 6th I have covered.
हाँ, 6 सर 6. ओके.
Yes.
Whether this one is.
हाँ, दिस वन मैडम.
Yes.
ओके.
आपका म्यूट कर दो, मैं इधर आवाज बढ़ाऊं.
यस जी.
Yes, participant, is the screen visible to you? Is it visible?
Yes,
Sorry
madam,
for-
yes.
Sorry for trouble. Shall I continue now? With a good hope of research attitude, I think that those who have today participated in this conference, they will be in future very good researchers, might be the Nobel laureates or best outcome basis research will be delivered among this conference outcome, because this is the way that we are testing for our research qualities, and one of the quality we need in the research is nothing but the patience. So many times we fed up that yes, many times I am doing and why I am not getting the result. Same procedure, same I am following, then also failure. Same thing, same equipment, same technology I am using, but then also I am failure. So this is nothing but the research. To share the screen, we have done the many times, many experimentation. At last we shared it. It is so 1 second's click, but during this click also many persons they get the failure because of many reasons, many factors, and this I want to tell you that the similar way we have to go ahead without taking the break, and this systematic investigation in some field of the knowledge undertaken to establish the facts of the principle is nothing but the research. So friends, we will continue for the next slide. We have gone through this that when we formulate the research, 6 slides, sir. Formulating research is very important in this, and this research creation is important to design our research subject, title or hypothesis. So constructing this research problem with various ways, methods, selecting a very good sample, write a particular proposal, and now we called it as a synopsis. Thesis we called it as a final synopsis, and research proposal we called it as a synopsis. So this is nothing but the research proposal. We titled or named it as a research synopsis, a research synopsis, or in the thesis when we draft up to the concluding, that is the final synopsis. So when we consider all these factors, next please, to make your research problem clear, it should be very important that formulating this research problem, it has a many tasks, and when you consider this task, one of the tasks is nothing but the literature review, which we have already discussed here, that why to do and how to do, doing many sorts of reading, using the many sources. We have to formulate our problems and identify the variables for constructing the hypothesis. Next please. So when we consider all these factors, the literature review needs to the vigorous efforts using the various sources of knowledge. Nowadays it is easy because we have an encyclopedia, many websites are there, then science, then in each subject there are the thesis available, online thesis available, UGC website is there, Infonet is there, and using all these journals, books, internets, online sources, offline sources, that is electronic resources, maybe online, offline, you can do this literature survey and read and carefully you decide your problem is correct. Next. So to make the research problem clear, bring the focus into the development of your methodology. So focus on your problem and how to solve that problem, decide the way and which methodology, because see, there are many problems with many solutions. We don't need such type of problem. We need the problem with a specific methodology which gives the confirm and truth in a true results. So shortcuts we don't need. We have to check every moment, every step and do the careful research. So to know where you are, we have to consider the broader knowledge in our area of the research, and this broader knowledge should be used to develop the methodology and to solve the problem. So whatever the research problem we design, that should be clear and that should bring the focus into the problem. Yes, this is the research problem and that is to be get solved by this method. Next please. So when we consider this, all these factors, it is very important that we got the, once we consider this, we have formulated the research problem, we have used the task for this various problem to make the sure whatever we have considered. Then yes, 11th slide please. So search the select whatever, after reading this literature review, select and search your pertaining to your area. Means I can give the example of chemistry, I can give the example of mathematics. So whether your area is of which specialization, whether it is statistics or mathematics, or in chemistry, if many specializations are there, consider which specialization is there, among that which area of research you are considering. So do in depth of knowledge, this vigorous way, select the literature and consider or select, focus your research area. Then review the selected literature again and again, read it, so that in future whatever the obstacles, and there should not be the forward reaction. In chemistry we consider that reaction is in a forward way or in a backward way, but literature review gives you the forward direction. There is no backward reaction or need to go again and again, means you can save the time. Definitely somewhere you have to consider this also, but not whole journey can be reversed. So review selected literature and read it carefully, develop the theoretical framework, maybe theories or issues related to your study, develop the conceptual framework in the considering the aspects you select from the theoretical framework, that from the basis of your research, and design your research problem. Next please. So when you consider this literature review, how to write the literature review. So writing the research is also very important skill. Write under themes, particular themes, write that literature review. So you write the abstract and you state the statement that this has been studied by this, and what is the outcome, you conclude in 1 or 2 sentences. So you some way follow the chronological order to write the this literature review. Sir, next slide please. Am I audible? So highlight your argument, provide the references. So whatever the references are there, you provide it, and consider all these references for your writing of the literature review and formulating of your product. So this is the 12th slide. We have considered how to write the literature review. Then next we will consider that formulation of research problem, and this research problem is nothing but related with any question or need that needs the answer. Now, how to formulate the question? That is nothing but what? Any question that needs the answer. So, cite your questions that should have some answers, and accordingly this can be a research problem. So, not all questions can be transferred into the research problem.
Ma'am,
Remember,
whether this slide is correct or shall we change it?
no, I will talk. You continue next slide, please. I'm talking on that, presenting the outline.
This is the slide that you want.
Yes, sir. That presentation means earlier slide.
Yes.
Yes, presenting outlines. Yes. So I'm talking about this research. When we consider all these parts, research should be chosen according to your research problem. Whether you are doing the research as a career just for the increment, now we are doing very shortcut ways, but avoid that and consider that is it a curiosity for you. So accordingly you formulate any questions that needs the answer can formulate in the form of research problem, but every question cannot be converted or transferred into the research problem. Remember, what matters here? Your knowledge, first thing, then the research methodology which we are using, then your knowledge of the subject area is very, very important. Your understanding of the issues to be examined before deciding or formulating the research problem. When you consider this, formation of the research problem is the first step in the research, and every beginning should be very perfect. So identify the destination before you start the journey. It is the foundation of your building. Remember, basement, like a basement. So source of research problem, you may use the query, you can do the research questionnaire, you can do the survey of people, individuals, group, organization, communities, or literature survey, and then you can state your problems, issues, situations related with your association, which needs, and you can do in a demographic way also. So when you all are doing all these consideration, then the formation of research problem, once you have decided is correct, then the remaining things becomes very easy. That is the program which you consider. It consists the contents, structure, outcome, attribute, satisfaction, users, user satisfaction, or your experimental satisfaction, everything you have to consider there. And here we are considering the phenomenon of cause and effect relationship, study of phenomenon of itself. And this research problem is your topic for your research now. It is the title of your thesis. It is the title of your dissertation. So consider the following when selecting the topic: your interest, your level of expertization, your subject knowledge, your research supervisor's expertise area, as well as knowledge. When you consider all these things, then it is very easy. Use the concept that can be measured, the topic which is to be relevant to your profession, subject area, and that should be availability of data, ethical issues. So this formulation of objective may be your goal of study. Consider in a main objective, secondary, sub-objectives, then every step you do in a proper way, and in this way you start to construct your hypothesis. Next slide, please, sir. Constructing the hypothesis. Okay. No, before that. Yes, be here. So once you, okay, sir. Constructing the hypothesis, it is an application of nature. So you consider that very tentative statement about the something, and design it and do in a specific way. Once you consider this hypothesis, then you look for your presentation outline, which we have considered just now, that research, whether it is as a career, now you are observing on the slide, if it is as a career, then you have to take the care of what it takes, what that research leads to you, whether you will go for the further research in the research institute, being academician, or being a societal problem you are solving, giving the outcomes. Now in this pandemic area, many people, they have done many research, but what is the outcome? Yes, of course, outcome is there. There is a economy growth. There is a growth of economy in the market values where the research is related with that pandemic area, maybe related with our mask may be related with the sanitizer, washes, skin related solutions, or drugs, medicinal area. So consider that in what way you want to do the research and time span for that. So what is the creativity in that? Nature of creativity decide. This is applicable for all sorts of research. So this is the presentation outline, very important during the research planning. Not only the research statement or literature survey or problem formulation, but it is also extraordinary creative ideas to be accurate to get the very grand satisfaction in the research. You have gone through the plagiarism, and one lecture you avail opportunity to have from the very eminent personalities from the industrial area, and there you have seen that how the scale up process, R&D, research and development is going on. So it is going on in this way. Stories of now one thing you can do, you can read the stories of extraordinary creative peoples. They have done the extraordinary thing in an ordinary way. So you can search for the neural basis of the creativity, nurturing the creativity, doing the variations in the theoretical results, and communication of research results, doing the commercialization of research outcome. That's why earlier lecture you have studied this, or you aware with this, what is the commercialization of research outcome and how the communication of research result can be done with the help of plagiarism. So first lecture, plagiarism helps to do the communication of your research result, and the second lecture, which is organized by the organizer, that is nothing but the commercialization of research outcome. So this is nothing but very, very important. So it next please, it takes the creativity, open mind, curiosity, patience, and all these are the qualities required to the researcher. So being a good researcher, think about this. You should be have open mind. So any suggestion, any results, any outcome, any observation should get accepted. No, I have thought this and it should be happen and I expect this result only. No, it will not happen. You have to consider in an open mind, open way. Patience, persistence and positive attitude with discipline, focus with this problem is very, very important. So nature of creativity, after that, no correlation with the intelligence. Remember that only intelligent people can do the research. This is not the correct statement. Anyone can do any layman can do the research, having beautiful examples in this pandemic area. Only you have to think about the ability of making something new. Next slide please. And the utility, originality of that, and nature and nurture of both impart creating the personality. Next please. So friends, when we consider this research sequence, this is the research sequence. Next we have already considered. Now topic selection. Topic selection is also very important. These few slides I have gathered from the pictures, that is from the Google search images. You are observing many times here in the computational science you are doing research, then you have to go for the vigorous way doing the data collection and software designing and every concept, that whether it is applicable or not. Problem sources related with the supervisor, industry, research papers, conference, means thirst area you decide, whether it is a physical chemistry, whether it is a physics, whether it is electronics. Physical science, ranging the problems from experimental to the properties. Chemistry, ranging the problems starting from the reactions to the product. If the IT sector is there, ranging the problem from designing of your software or model or anything. So problem selection is also very important. Next please. So after this we will go for the research planning. Time and resource for the planning of research processes is very important. Planning of developing new skills. There should be innovative research. Nothing beat for good planning. So planning should be very good, very proper, and it is unbeatable if you do it very carefully, systematically and scientifically. So planning of your presentation in the synopsis, that should be very clear. Then problem formulation. In this problem formulation, when we consider literature survey, recognize this community problem and decide whether, next please, whether your problem is community related, individual related, people related, or institute related. Asking the right question to the self, developing analytical models, designing the logarithmic description and discussions and brainstorming. That should be brainstorming with the supervisor and group. You should put your ideas every time in front of your research group or with your supervisor, and he should get excited to doing the discussion with you. This brainstorming situation is lacking in our area, and you go for that and open your minds for the extraordinary creative ideas. Next please. So this is nothing but the sudden spontaneous vision you get when you do the literature survey, formulate your product and start your journey. So friends, further part is experimentation. There is no challenge to dream the problem, which is not only the giving opportunity to do the research, but it is the dream which is always giving the outcome based research and satisfaction. So go to have dream in the sky is the limit for that, in the factful way to have the achievements. Sudden spontaneous visions sometimes comes in the mind, record that. Cross pollination for different fields, check it and go for the next. So friends, there you can read the stories. Next please. There are some extraordinary stories, stories of extraordinary inventors. You can go here. The great mathematician goes, I can put the example. Next please. Then stories you can consider very common example of benzene structure, Kekulé. He has a dream and he observed the snakes biting its tail round way. So for tail, having the tail in mouth, the whatever the movement is there, like that he arranged the molecules and carbon and hydrogen, and the benzene structure is that is the very important part, that no one can stop brainstorming ideas. So another example is there, Otto Lieb. He had dreamed that lead to his discovery of chemical transmission in the nerve impulses, and nowadays this is very important, friends. So when you consider these stories, that also give you the new ideas for new creations. So always neural basis of creativity is very important. Human brain is, this brain is self-organizing system. It is having self-organizing system. So brain centers specialize for the individual that functions, and the cortex contains neurons. So here the bio people, they know the diagram, no need to explain, but just to have the idea how the research is important, because this is a neural basis creativity. Thinking process is also very important. So in this way you can go for the creating new solutions when your ideas are clear. Next slide please. Ordinary creativity consists the conscious activities, and you can represent in a linear process A to B, B to C, C to D and E in the stepwise, and stop until and unless you are satisfied with the confirmation of your result and that are truthful and fruitful. So extraordinary creativity, it involves unconscious mental process consisting the interactions between the various regions of the associating cortex bypassing the consequences. So friends, this neural system is also very important. So nurturing this creativity is just like enlightening the lamp. Next please. So enlight the lamp of your research idea, and this explore in the depth of new area in future. If you are not got the result like a Nobel laureate, don't think that I am not a great researcher, but think that this creativity can be continue in a regular basis by someone others, and it may leads to the result which is having work more deeply or more to move ahead to give the fruitful results in future. So do the daily meditation for this, practicing observation and describing your product and result and collected data, and practicing the imagination in the experimentation in a practical way. So next please. If you go for that, then you will get the a very supportive environment, and you can inspire the mentors, even giving the ideas, economic prosperity. You can go for the critical mass of a critical people. Next, please. So communication of research finding, so that you have gone through in plagiarism. You can put your outcomes in the seminar, conference paper, journals and thesis and books. I will not discuss much more on that. So whatever the writing papers are there, focus on innovation, that part of the conclusion or experimental, what new ideas you have got, where to publish, decide it. That should be in a accurate way in the selective area of research. Ethics and integrity, quality counts more than the quantity. Remember, number is not important, but result and new invention is like. Next, please. Observation to hypothesis, hypothesis to testing, testing to prediction, prediction to observations. Next, please. So this is nothing but very important. Next part of your research, commercializing the research outcome is very important part, and you have availed the second lecture on this. Next. So this is nothing but the result continuation. Next, please. Tips and tricks I have shared here. Next slide, please, sir. So what are the tips and tricks? Read and read, take notes, walk to supervisors, experts, fellows, write topics and topics, get confuse yourself and get afraid whether I will get it, not it, and do it with the confidence. Generate a number of research questions in your mind, systemize the research questions, cut down these in line with your coherent thinkings, and then you will get the grand success in the result. So do's and do not, you have to choose what to do and what to not for this. Many times prepare a professional looking proposal. Next slide, please. Now make it interesting one. Okay, and these slides, when we consider, make it informative, meaningful research. Write easy way to read your research outcomes. Present contents in a page. Use clear headings and subheading in your presentation of the outcome of the research. And in this way, when you go, you will get the, sometimes you will get the common mistakes in publications, writing the thesis or a final synopsis. So to provide the context of the frame research questions is not important, but limit the boundary of research issues and accordingly cite the landmark studies undertaken, present accurate theoretical background of study, focus the research question, develop coherent and persuasive arguments. Too much detail is not expected, but too much short or major issues are also not expected. Go for the rambling, but it should not be too much. Going all over without clear cut sense of the direction is also not expected. Means very specific selected results are expected here. Incorrect citation references, you can avoid it. Too long and too short writings also you can avoid it. So do it, and definitely I hope that you will get the research. Next, please. Research findings following these 3 lectures. I'm sorry to say that my lecture gives the many times your brain to stop thinking, but when we continue this, I hope that at least earlier 2 lectures and this lecture, definitely you have a good path of journey of research. And I am not hopeful, but I am confident that whatever the topic selected by the organizer, really it is the relevant to the theme, and it is very important, because introduction to research, writing the outcome related with the plagiarism is very important, and the commercialization of the research, from that the industrial resources person, they have chosen from the different sectors. So earlier 2 resource persons, they have delivered very good lectures, and I heard few part of that, and third lecture. So it is very good linking between the theme of the research conference they have chosen. So I congratulate organizer and team of Milia College for nice organization. But I felt very sorry that because of me, this ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये गालबोट म्हणतो, that has been happens that and sometimes it needs to have that everything. If it is best, something if it is missing, then best is recognized, and you should be careful in the next time. So being a resource person, I will be careful that I will share my research PPT earlier to the organizer. This is the one outcome is from today's conference for myself. So thank you one and all.
Thank you, madam.
So I must acknowledge the principal sir and chief organizer of this Milia College of the name sir, Faruqi sir, and Thakur sir and Hashmi. So thanks one and all. And lastly, the participants, really I must thank for your great patience and hearing my small words on this very common topic, that is the research introduction and concept. I have used few resources. You can go for this. That is Kumar Ranjit's research methodology, a step-by-step guide for the beginners, second edition. And Kothari's book is very common. So one is international and one is national. So thank you one and all.
Now the session is open for discussion. I request all the participant in this deliberation. If any question you may ask. Participant, if any question you may ask. I thought no any question. Madam has enlightened about the research methodology, and Madam has given valuable information about research sequences, research planning, literature survey, problem formulation, and also how to write a research proposal. Thanks, Madam. Thanks one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Madam.
So
the validity function will be started within few minutes. I requested Seema Madam to start the validity function. Thank you.
Good evening. I welcome you all. Makune Madam, please accept the chairmanship of this session. So we will start with our valedictory program. First of all, I request participants, if anybody is ready for giving the feedback about the conference. We have received some names.
Yes, ma'am.
Mubashira Kausar, Muhammad Akbar, are you ready? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you there, Momin Mubashira?
Yes, ma'am.
So please, if you can open your camera, you can give your feedback.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Good afternoon, all of you. Assalamu alaikum. I am Momin Mubashira Kausar, PhD student in Milia College under the guidance of Dr. Feroz Sheikh sir. All the sessions were very useful and informative. Presenters were very knowledgeable and offered very valuable information and tips. This was a wonderful overview of the publication process. I learned several key pieces of information that will greatly improve my ability to publish. Dr. Abdullah Suhail sir, Dr. Syed Moinuddin sir, and Dr. Sangeeta ma'am were fabulous lecturers with a great sense of humor and profound knowledge of the field and material. Thank you for inviting such an engaging, talented speakers. I would like to hear such an speakers invited to webinars, seminars, or conferences in the future also. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me a chance to sharing my views. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else from the delegate participants?
Yes, ma'am, I want to share my
What's your name, please?
feedback. My name is Khazi Shazi.
Huh? You are speaking from Aurangabad? Okay, continue.
Yes, ma'am, I am from Aurangabad.
Yes, please.
First of all, a very good afternoon to everyone. And I would like to thank Media College and teachers, especially Seema Hashmi ma'am, for arranging such an informative session. First of all, in the first session, Abdullah sir, he gave a very informative lecture. He shared his own personal experiences regarding plagiarism. Then Moinuddin sir, he also gave many novel ideas and a very informative lecture. And Sangeeta ma'am, your speech was very motivating. I really got very inspired. I am a research scholar. I am doing my PhD under Seema Hashmi ma'am. So thank you, media team, for arranging this informative session for us.
So I think feedback is enough. So now I welcome our Vice Principal, Dr. Hussaini sir, to accept the presidentship of this valedictory function. And I request Dr. Hussaini sir to kindly address the presidential address of this valedictory function. Please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All resource persons, delegates and students, first of all, I would like to thank all of you for your active participation in this online event, and I hope that all you are safe during this pandemic, and I pray from Almighty Allah for the safety of humanity. Dear friends, our institution are inspired with the goal to impart the education among the minorities under the able championship of late Mir Raunak Ali and late Ahmad bin Abu Chaush under the name of Millia Ishat Talim Education Society. It was founded in 1952, and there in 1991 the senior college was established. Right now we run many educational units and nearly 15,000 students are getting benefited at the different levels. All our campus is ICT enabled. I am very proud to say here that our college has very good contribution towards research. 20 faculty members are recognized research guides in their subjects and published more than 1,000 papers at national and international journals. Friends, I would like to share with you that we have developed fully equipped research lab in the zoology, physics, electronics. We have also good research in the Department of Chemistry and Microbiology also. Our faculty members have completed many research projects funded by the national agencies like UGC, DST and ISRO. My dear friends, to motivate the young researchers and faculties, our college has organized many such events in past. Many international and national conferences have organized in the offline moment, in offline mode. But unfortunately, from the last 2 years, entire globe is suffering from this pandemic, and it was not possible to organize such an offline event. Actually, Honorable Principal and my entire team, along with my Vice Principal Hanif sir and entire organizing team, was of the opinion to organize this event offline. But we have tried our level best, but not possible. Therefore, it is arranged online. But I hope that this platform has fulfilled the requirements of all young researchers. I am very much assured that all research lovers have enjoyed this event. I hope the participants have also will give their feedback here also, and they will also give their feedback in our feedback form, which it is already shared in the chat box by the admin. That such feedback should come to us, that which type of event you want in future, what is the lacuna in such type of event, so that in future we will try to improve in the organization of our future events. With this one, I would like to congratulate. First of all, I would like to thank all the resource persons who have delivered that expert talk in the morning. Right now, in the afternoon session, Madam has enlightened the participant very nicely. So I would like to personally thank ma'am for giving such informative lecture. And at final, I would like to congratulate the entire organizing team of our college for the grand success of this event. Thank you. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request all the participants to see the feedback link which is circulated in the WhatsApp group. So this link, it will be active till 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Ma'am, please ask all the audience to open their camera for
Yes, that I am continuing after this. First, I will give the message. So all of you, please fill the feedback link by tomorrow, and 7th morning, 11 o'clock, you will be getting your certificates. In the meantime, all are requested to put on your camera on so that we can take a snapshot of our event, after which Dr. Thakur sir will be proposing the vote of thanks. And finally, it will be the end of our conference. Once again, I thank the chairman, Makone madam, for accepting our invitation and coming here. I request all of you to kindly put on your cameras on for taking the photograph, please. Few more cameras are needed. You take camera. I think that is sufficient. Pic has been taken. Just a minute. 1 second. Let us take the pic.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I request Dr. Thakur sir to propose the vote of thanks. And finally, bye all of you. And I wish you luck always and everywhere. Thanks a lot.
You, ma'am.
Namaste, Adab, and good afternoon all. I am here to propose the vote of thanks. First of all, I must thank Almighty who has offered this honor to organize International E-Conference on Plagiarism and Emerging Trends in Research, Development and Methodology. I would like to thank Secretary Khan Sabia Madam and President Dr. Salim Ahmad bin Mahfouz of our institution. I am very much thankful to Professor A.M. Deshmukh sir, President Microbiological Society India. I express my gratitude towards all resource persons for delivering very nice and beautiful talk. Professor Abdullah Muhammad Sohail sir from Department of Biotechnology, Jahangirnagar University, Savar, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Dr. Syed Moinuddin Rashid, Scientist Wakard, Research Center, Aurangabad. Professor Sangeeta Makone Madam, School of Chemical Sciences, Swami Ramananda Tirth, Marathwada University, Nanded. I am very much thankful to our principal, Dr. Muhammad Ilyas sir, Vice Principal, Dr. Syed Hanif sir, Vice Principal, Dr. Hussaini sir, and Sheikh Naeem sir. Also, all teaching and non-teaching staff members of our college. I am also thank media for giving wide publicity. I am very grateful to all you participants, professors, teachers, research scholars, students, for your great support. I am thankful to everybody who contributed to this event. I hope that all of you have enjoyed the moment. Thanks one and all. आप सभी का बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद, शुक्रिया। अशिक्षित को शिक्षा दो, अशिक्षित को शिक्षा दो, अज्ञानी को ज्ञान। अशिक्षित को शिक्षा दो, अज्ञानी को ज्ञान। शिक्षा से ही बन सकता है, शिक्षा से ही बन सकता है मेरा भारत देश महान।
क्या बात है,
थैंक्स, शुक्रिया, थैंक्स, धन्यवाद।